Okay, so you gotta have this on. Endless. It's really bad. Yeah. I cannot say a word about anything I'm witnessing in this house again, okay? Or this block, or the city. Can't tell you the weather. Can't even tell you who's stalking me on my fucking own cell phone. If any humans come back in here or come to the door, I can't film them. Why is that? So I can leave here alive. Why is that? I can't tell you why. Please connect the dots with what I've said in prior statements. What I can say is I didn't pick and choose who God planned for me to meet and who God planned for me to get along with, like best friends forever, compatible. You can't live without them. Every time you wake up, you got to know they're there. You got to know they're okay. And then you can go on. Now that I'm like that, I have a lot more insight to people who lose their spouses. Like, fuck, dude. I would not be the type to remarry. I'd be the type just to wait until I died naturally to be brought back together again with my spouse. There are people like that. And I don't think I'm going to have kids, but I get it now. When you have a kid, right? Your whole world is different and you do nothing but protect your kid. So, God fucking damn, I can imagine having to bury a child. I'm starting to have a little bit more of insight to that shit. Is sad, man. So that's what I'm trying to do here, folks, is make sure that people don't have to bury their loved ones, period. Okay, and that includes Brian, whose real name starts with an E. All right, let's give Brian a prison sentence. I don't know, because these people that come to the door and come in here, oh fucking God. The level of combat here and rank of generals and dude. That's why I'm gonna say another prayer for Brian and his reservist friend. Like, just mostly this pretend lawyer. If you weren't in the insurrection, Brian, and lied and cheated and stealed all these years, me and you could have been in a different world and different time. Happy work buddies. I would have looked forward to seeing you at the job and said, hi, how are you doing? And been glad that I'm working with you that day. But you chose to betray and you chose to become a criminal. And I was really ashamed to see someone like you, Brian, sneaking away from the house like a fucking criminal. Okay? I'm gonna pray for you again. I don't want to keep in contact with people like you anymore because it's breaking my heart, and I have relatives that have already broken enough. That's my fucking aunts. Brian, you know all of my family. You and all your reservists and your Secret Service. Who else knows about everybody? So you know about my lovely aunt, who I despise, who I've never liked, and all those camps that she used to drag me to with my mommy when I was like 5 and 6. Right, those Christian white nationalist camps. Brian, you know I know all about that. I just don't talk about it. So please do me a favor, Brian. I got enough problems with my relatives to not bring all that up because you remind me of them. All right. Now, I don't have a lot of empathy for the cousins and the aunts. They're just vicious, violent people. But I do for this one that's supposed to be my dad, but more likely no. I mean, you're around them. They're claiming to be your legal dad on birth certificate, which all these feds like Brian, all these military men like his friend Spencer or whatever that was on the porch, U.S. reservist military man. They know that Steve is my dad legally on paper, but it's not the whole story. And either way, I turned out to be a Granger and Pierce Scott. So I was brought into that lovely pistols and all the shit they do. So I know a lot about that, Brian. So when you come into my door, you're bringing all that up. Okay? I'm going to pray for you again, because it was really, it's too bad to see people that had status like you turn into fucking criminals. But as far as everything that's going on here, for my safety, so that I can walk out of here and telling the public this, I can't report anything. Nothing. But as far as what I was just starting to say about getting married, you don't pick that. Oh, no. And everybody over the years has seen all my crushes. I have crushes, I put them on the internet. You don't pick that. So when the person comes along, oh, forget about it, dude. You're toast, you're cooked. Yeah, you're cooked. I'm done. There's no more single life for me. That thought is horrifying. My life now is waking up, making sure my soon-to-be spouse is okay, I'm okay, and we just keep going on together, and that's all I care about for the rest of my life. Okay? No. God the Father is not going to let white nationalist or Iranian guard, the Ayatollah, you're a joke, stand in the way of that. No. Oh, and here's another one. None of these foreign militaries, I'm forbidden from saying who, that are neo-Nazi, they're lily white like Heidi is, are going to stand in the way of that. You just not. Okay, so go ahead, work hard. Any more trying to arrest me out of this place with everything that has happened, you're insane. Any more trying to drag me to institutions or jails, you're insane. All right, but I would appreciate it if God would have some mercy on me so I don't have to do these prayer sessions all night for people like Brian, okay? And it doesn't bring up all that crap that I'm actually suppressing in here because I have to, because I'm trapped in a fucking terrorist complex. It's unresolved pain that I do need to process about my legal relatives, yeah. So I would appreciate if they stop coming to the yard, coming to the door, talking to me when they know everything about my fucking relatives. No, I'm not one, okay? I was never into that with the rest of the family. No. I made, for the public, I made popcorn shrimp. Here, I'll show you. Popcorn shrimp is good. I'm hanging in there. I'm really upset. I keep thinking they're gonna fucking arrest me again. My eyes are puffy, my skin's all rashed out. Everything's blurry. They light me up with so much chemical gas. My vision's blurry. It's not an optical issue, is fucking straight poisoning. It never ends. I get really depressed. Not bad, I still talk about my hopes and dreams and all that. But no, I mean, having a future where these kind of feds have been following me around since New York City. I remember them outside my college and they just seem to have a vendetta. Yeah. And then over 7 years, now I'm praying for some of them. I really don't want ones like Brian to get killed, dude. No, I couldn't wish that in a million years. But they're coming here and they're in this trance. They basically trying to do that to me, but like I said, God is greater than that, Brian. And any people like him out there, he's greater than that. He's way bigger than all of you, okay? So no matter what you wish and think and how much hate you have in your little Christian church, Christian camps, I know all about that shit out there in the woods, survivalist, white nationalist. Why don't you look at my birth certificate? Ask me about my little aunt. Okay? And all my cousins. God, please, man. You haven't heard none of it. Anyway, so all you Americans out there that just hate her, hate Heidi, hate everyone like her, God is greater than you. He's so much greater than you. Okay? You're not going to stand in the way of me getting married, which I was a late bloomer because I just couldn't find the right person and I'd rather be single. And you don't pick that when it happens. You don't pick what race they are. You don't pick where they're from. You just don't have a say in that. And I can testify to that and shout it from the mountain. No. And then bam, there it is. The one that you literally are best friends forever. And you know, as a woman, you're looking for that. You're always like, oh, he's cute. He's cute. And I did this. I put the cute ones I had crushes on. Yeah, okay. That's fine. But it becomes way more intense when you literally bond with someone on every level, psyche, ego, and id, or however this is explained. No, you become very attached. So speaking spiritually, God is not, he's greater. He's not going to let the neo-Nazis out of AK, the neo-Nazis out of Hawaii, the ISIS and Muslim religiously driven terrorists who are really dangerous, which I cannot talk about. Any of them, the ISIS terrorists, little Taliban here that run around with the feds. You're not going to stand in the way of that with me, okay? Living my humble life in my little 4-bedroom house. You're just not going to stand in the way of that, all right? Okay, goodbye.